Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Projects, where we take a look at some of the biggest games on the blockchain right now. Are gaming tokens making a comeback? 2023 certainly looks that way. So going from the beginning of the year, we saw Gala Games token do huge things at the beginning of it. We saw it at sitting around 1.5 cents and going all the way up to the all-time high of 5.5 cents. And now we see it 0.04975. So we've seen a 3x there. If you got involved in that, that came with the announcement of a movie, and this also came with the announcement of them making a huge acquisition of a mobile games company that basically gave it so much access to new customers that are, not integrated to the blockchain and may not be familiar with it. So it gives them a huge window to targeting a lot more users and hopefully increasing the amount of people playing NFT or Web3 games. So we see moving forward across other gaming tokens. We saw Magic token, a token that we're going to talk about in a bit. That did huge things. From about 50 cents, it went all the way up to 1.449 at its highest, currently at 1.34. That's up 5% for the past 24 hours, so doing really well. We see YGG, which is the Guild Games. So not actually a gaming token per se, but it's the token of a huge gaming guild. And we've seen that do 20% today. So if you went to the beginning of the year, that was at 0.16. And so it's just below. I mean, we're seeing about 1.7x from that position. And we see Axie doing huge things today. So 42% in the past 24 hours since the beginning of the year. That has now close to doubled where it was at. So if we go back, to just before the new year, it was at $6. Now at $12.98. So these big gaming tokens, ones that have, a lot of history in the NFT gaming space and big user bases and lots of, big things happening within their projects, are doing very well. It begs the question, is this going to trickle down into other gaming tokens, and which ones is it going to affect? We already see some big movement today on other gaming tokens like Voxel. So for Voxies, we've seen Illuvium that's currently sitting at 11% in terms of its 24-hour change. 2023, it's made some big changes as well. It's done 50% from its position early on in the beginning of this year. So there is reason to believe that this may trickle down into other games, but we're hitting a lot of the big gaming titles here with the tokens that are doing those big X's. Illuvium and Axie and Gala, they've been around since the beginning, and we have seen big movement in Bitcoin, BNB, and Ethereum. So it makes sense that usually you would see that trickle down into the NFT gaming space because it builds market confidence. And gaming tokens, when there's confidence in the market, do huge X's. We saw in the last bull run there were beyond 10x's that were done for gaming tokens that you could invest in right now. These weren't gaming tokens that were coming out and you had to be on an IDO or private sale to be able to get access to these tokens. These were tokens that were available on central exchanges, available on decentralized exchanges, and you could purchase and see do huge things like, for example, Thetan Arena, that did massive things from its original position, way beyond 10x. We saw gaming tokens, going way before that, the previous bull run, where we saw CryptoBlades go from $1 to over $100. So these gaming tokens do have the potential to do big things, but I think what we're seeing is the boost around games that have a huge player base and have a lot of history at being successful, so not just tanking their token price because they haven't got a sustainable economy. Illuvium is a sustainable economy at the moment because they're not paying out Illuvium for the games that you're playing. Axie is sustainable because it has such a big user base and they're bringing out new updates. A lot of gaming tokens did, bump up and then they came down and then they did huge things after that. Illuvium was just below $2,000, and being that this isn't a gaming token that's been paying out rewards on the regular for playing the game, that was a huge drop in its token price. And I think one of the things, the reason for that is if you compare the game to Gala Games, it has multiple different titles on it. It's hard to compete. And also the fact that you're starting to see more games like Illuvium in terms of quality starting to get put on the market and in production now. So some of those, Illuvium now has competitors where before it really didn't. It was a standalone title of being the best graphics and there was nothing else competing with it in the NFT gaming space. So first we're going to take a look at Magic. Magic, like Gala Games, is a gaming token that has multiple different gaming titles. We see 10 plus games powered by Treasure, gaming and top 5 overall liquidity on Sushi. It's got 100k engaged player community, 101% quarter-on-quarter growth between weekly active users. It accounts for 95% of all gaming and NFT transactions on Arbitrum. This is a blockchain in itself that you can access just like Binance and Ethereum network. #1 gaming and NFT ecosystem on Arbitrum, and with a huge market volume of 267 million. This is a big project. They have games, interoperability, a marketplace, and AMM. So Magic Swap powers the cross-game economy. And these are some of the games. So the biggest one is The Beacon. So this is an ARPG, I believe. So fantasy action roguelite that you can play. Mint the Fable founding members of Altaris overseas investment settlements just in time for the Beacon's game prototype settlement launch. So we can see the mint price is around $40 USD equivalent, and you can check that out now. So I think we haven't had a really good quality game of this type. You know, we've got that pixelated look. I don't think we've had something that's really like got the same level of Pokemon detail. I really like these NFTs. Look at that, hey, this guy's got some awards in there. Cool statues. Yeah, I mean the design looks great for what it is. I think games like this are also very easy to create quickly, and so they are good for the NFT gaming space in terms of getting a good quality game out. That, you know, a game doesn't need to, it's not about graphics for most games. Yes, it's probably got more chance of being a AAA title if it has good graphics, but you have games out there that have just been equally as successful and, you know, engaging and enjoyable than the top quality graphic games. So we have egg hatching. These are all the profiles that are in the game at the moment. So this is one game that you can play. I think from the looks of it, you can just click play, connect your wallet up, and you can connect through a variety of different wallets. So you can add it to your MetaMask here. So if I sign into my MetaMask, I can click next, allow, and you do need to verify your account. So click the sign in. You can see now that I'm logged in and it's got my ETH balance there. Massive